we're going to replace the cracked camera lens glass on the back of the OnePlus 2 today. These are some of the tools we're going to use. I got a couple of pry tools, a magnetic screwdriver with a small tip, and some tweezers. If you don't have a set like this, I highly recommend getting a set. It's really nice. I got it from Amazon. I'll add the link below. Has all the tools you need to make repairs like this. If you make a lot of repairs to small electronics, I highly recommend it. So to get the back cover off, simply stick your thumbnail in the slot at the bottom of the phone. It's a little hard to get at, right? It's right there at the bottom, but it's there. Just pry it open and remove the back cover. Then we'll need to get the screws off. There's about 18 screws around the edge of the back. The one on the bottom has a white sticker on it. It's probably a tamper-proof sticker, so the manufacturer knows if you've opened it or not. But simply remove all the screws to get the mid cover off, because we're going to want to get at the piece right there. Just to note, there are 6 screws on the back that are covered with a rubber plug. All you have to do is take the rubber plug out with a pair of tweezers. Very easy. Once the screws are out, take your pry tool. I found the bottom is a good place to start from. Just pry it up, and it comes off easily as the back cover. And then it just comes right off. You'll see I kind of did this ahead of time just to see what I'm working with, but the mid cover does come off pretty easily. So a lot of the forums on the internet said it's hard to replace just this piece, so replace the entire mid cover. Well, it's hard to find, and when I did find it, expensive. So I found this on the internet. I'll link to it below. And it comes with the silver piece, including the glass lens. You can get just the glass circle, but I opted to get both of the pieces. So I noticed on the back it has adhesive. So I took the mid cover and a pry tool, and there's a little raised plastic that it's set in. So I bent it back a bit to access the silver plate, and then you can see it starts to come up pretty easily. On a side note, when I started this repair, I wasn't exactly sure what was where and how it was all put together. And it was at this point that I learned that the silver plate and the glass were mounted on the outside of the mid cover, not the inside. So theoretically, you could probably do this repair without removing the mid cover, and take your pry tool and pry up this silver plate from inside the ring, the raised ring of plastic that you'll see here. You run the risk of kind of mangling the raised ring as you pull out the silver plate, but potentially you could do it. For me, it was easy enough to just pull it off and bend the cover back, as you saw, to get at the silver plate to pry it up. Now, once you have the silver plate off, you're going to note that this piece is on the plate, but the replacement part doesn't have that. So you're going to want to get that piece off the old part. So to get that piece out, you just want to take a screwdriver with a really fine point and just kind of push it out the back. Now be careful, because when it pops out, it pops out fast, and you just want to make sure you know where it lands. And then once it's out, you put it into the new piece, into the same pre-drilled holes. So I've got the lens glass out. Now be careful when you are pulling it out of the plastic, because you don't want to touch it with your hands. You don't want to get your fingerprints or oil on the underside of the lens cover where you can't get at it and clean it. So I suggest handling it with a pair of tweezers. Now I've removed the 3M tape, and there's a little hole that you punch out. And then all you have to do is place it in the silver plate, and then put the lens glass on top of the adhesive. So once the tape is down, you can just take the lens glass with your pair of tweezers and then set it into the silver plate. Now, once it's set in the silver plate, you can use your finger to press it down and make sure it's set with the adhesive, because you can easily clean that side of the glass from any fingerprints and residue. And then just go to the back and remove the adhesive backing. Once the adhesive is off, simply set it back into the mid cover, press down, make sure it's nice and secure, and then simply reassemble. And just a reminder, these 6 screws have rubber plugs over them. Now, there's adhesive on one side of the plug, so you want to make sure you're putting the adhesive side down when you're replacing all the rubber plugs. So you can see the repair is complete. You got the new lens glass on there. Now, you can buy the lens glass by itself instead of the kit with the plate and the glass. The lens glass itself is about $6 shipped, and the kit is about $12 shipped. But if you bought the lens glass by itself, you'd be looking at digging out all the old broken glass, and it would probably stick to the adhesive and might be a little difficult. So for me, it was just easier to buy the kit with the plate and the glass and make the repair. So that's pretty much it. It's a relatively simple fix with the right tools and the right parts. I'll put all that information below, and good luck with your repair.